A bright start to the Champions League was hampered by a poor run of form in the Premier League, leaving us in mid-table. But with the January transfer window a couple of months away and over £80 million to spend, the players need to get their acts together if they want to stay at Aston Villa Football Club. But as ever, if you're enjoying the series so far, please feel free to like and subscribe, and let's get into today's episode. Now, a few wayward results in the Premier League, most notably the 2-0 loss against Nottingham Forest, have seen us slip from the top four all the way down to 7th place, and we're now almost 6 points behind Liverpool, who topped the table so far, and we have to be conscious that with just 9 games played, we do not want to lose sight of that first place position. However, judging by the morale in the team, it looks like discontent is starting to run through some of the squad. First and foremost, I've got Buendia knocking on my door, wanting to understand why he's been left out of the team after a few different games. And then on top of that, I've got my backup striker Santiago Jimenez, who's now decided to go and complain to the media, as he too is unsettled by the lack of game time. The problem is, despite the poor run of form in the Premier League, Ollie Watkins is leading the way with 5 goals in 7 Premier League appearances and 6 goals in 10 appearances overall. He is just undroppable at the moment, is the experienced Englishman. However, with Rangers up next in the Champions League, that does offer me the opportunity to try and introduce some of those fringe players back into the starting 11 as we face off in our first English-Scottish divide in the Champions League campaign. And as you can see, several changes have been made to my starting 11. Martinez, Tapsoba and Torres do keep their places, but Matty Cash and Alex Moreno make up the remainder of my defence. Douglas Luiz comes in, as does McGinn, and they're partnered by Tielemans in the centre. Leon Bailey starts on the left, Buendia comes in on the right-hand side, and of course that man, Santiago Jimenez, will lead the line for us today. Well, this truly is a wonderful opportunity for those fringe players to try and make a name for themselves and try and show me that they have what it takes to get back into my starting 11. This is the perfect opportunity to do so away from home in a tough fixture, but against a team that we are expected to beat. But Tapsoba tries to bring that one out of defence, and he finds Douglas Luiz, who sprays a wonderful pass over to another man who finds himself in and out of the team in Alex Moreno. He fires it down the line to a man who is in fabulous form at the moment, into Tielemans. Leon Bailey has it on his right, and he hits the post. Well, a brilliant opportunity to open the scoring inside the opening 5 minutes, but Tielemans on his weaker foot just couldn't take the chance, and here's frustration. It's still 0-0. Jack Butland, the former Stoke City man, will kick the ball clear, and he'll go long. And Alex Moreno will win it back high, and he plays it into Leon Bailey, who loses it, trying to play a through ball into Santiago Jimenez. Now Cantwell, the former Norwich City man, to bring it out of midfield, finds Danilo. He plays a lovely ball through into Lawrence. Lawrence, though, doesn't really have many options to try and play it forward. Instead goes out to Ridvan out on the left-hand side. He cuts it back into Lawrence, looking for an option. Of course, who else? It is that man, Tapsoba, who is in the way to put the block in. And now Leon Bailey is released down the left-hand side, does the dance round the left-hand side defender, now tries to cut back in. He's still going, is the main man on the left-hand side, goes all the way out to Alex Moreno. He's going to now try and drive past the left-back. He does that brilliantly, fires a wicked ball in. He was looking for Santiago Jimenez, who was inches away from reaching it with his head. Tielemans got the chest all wrong, falls to Douglas Luiz, smashes it against the defender. Can he keep the ball alive? No, he can't. It's cleared away by the Rangers defenders. Danilo. Nice pass into Sterling. I don't think that is Raheem Sterling. I'm assuming it's another one, but he finds a brilliant ball out to right, who finds a ball out wide to Lawrence, who's unmarked at the back post, and Martinez is forced into a fine stop. Well, it's been a pretty end-to-end start here in the opening 25 minutes. We haven't taken as much control as I would have hoped that we would have done, as Buendia heads it clear, only had as far as right. Rangers look dangerous here. They really do. Far more dangerous than I was expecting, but I guess it's the least the fans would expect here at Ibrox, as Tielemans now brings it out of defence, and now there is a ball on here. He plays it into Leon Bailey. He's got the pace to get away from the defenders. Leon Bailey into the box, cuts it across into Santiago Jimenez, who knocks it into an empty net inside the 6-yard box to get his first goal of the season and his first goal in the Champions League. Well, he's been complaining to the media about his lack of game time, and when he has been put into the team, that is exactly the sort of response I would have wanted. It was a simple finish in the end, but he had to get himself in the right position and make himself available to just nod it into an empty net. We lead 1-0 into Raskin to try and bring this one forward. Finds right, lovely little turn, goes past Alex Moreno, and now Pau Torres has got to come across to try and cover. Can he do anything enough to block the cross? Brilliant piece of defending from the Spaniard, and he releases Leon Bailey, who has been very influential so far in this game. But just as I say that, he goes and gives the ball away in a dangerous position. Now Lundstrom has it into Cantwell. Is he going to try and find a ball out wide to the left-hand side? Yes, he does, into Lawrence. Nice pass. Danilo, of course, who else? Tapsoba with a monster challenge. There is just no stopping this man this season. Buendia again, though, for Aston Villa, finds a wonderful pass to the overlapping run of Matty Cash. Matty Cash does have Santiago Jimenez in the box. Tries to dink it over, though, to the back post, looking for Leon Bailey. Well defended again by Rangers. It's headed clear as the referee blows for half-time. Alex Moreno. Nice pass into Leon Bailey, who takes it brilliantly. This man has been absolutely sensational so far in this game. He's gone all the way across to the centre. And then he goes and gives the ball away after me waxing lyrical about his performance so far. Really not what I was hoping for, but Matty Cash manages to win the ball back, drives into the box, looks for McGinn on the edge. He strikes with his left straight at the goalkeeper. It's easy in the end. Leon Bailey again picks it up and again goes past Sterling this time. Now drives into space down this left-hand side. He's going to try and cut it back. Does find Santiago Jimenez, who switches it onto his right. He finds Buendia, who strikes, and Buendia strikes us into a 2-0 lead here at the Ibrox Stadium in the Champions League. Well, it's the two men who at the beginning of the episode I claimed were demanding more game time, and they have stepped up in their first opportunity to get back into the starting 11, and they've both found themselves on the score sheet. A perfect response after finding themselves out of sorts so far this season. Buendia scores a lovely goal, and much to his delight, it's 2-0. Campbell, nice short pass into Raskin. He finds Goldson, and Goldson goes back to Raskin, but it's intercepted well by Douglas Luiz. This has been a really good performance by a lot of the players who are finding themselves out of my usual starting 11. Leon Bailey into Alex Moreno. Alex Moreno across into Santiago Jimenez with his left. It's a good save from Butland. We really should have had a second goal there. We really should have put this game to bed and given us a 3-0 lead. That was a big opportunity missed as Leon Bailey just heads it over the bar. Jacob Ramsey on as a substitute. Lovely little reverse pass into the path of Alex Moreno, and he's drawn several men out there, and Alex Moreno now feeds it into another substitute in Wilfred Nonto. Jimenez now into Buendia, he's hacked down. Is that inside the box? I think it may just be outside. There is all sort of fisticuffs here between the Aston Villa and Rangers players here. Absolutely shocking challenge. What is going to be the outcome? The referee reaches for his back pocket, and he reaches for the red card for Ridvan Yilmaz. The fans are in disbelief, but surely let's take another look at the replay. Let's see whether or not, he maybe does get contact with the ball, but he takes the player off as well, but it was a two-footed lunge from behind, and that man can get sent off. And he leaves Rangers with only 10 men on the field. And it does now mean that now Douglas Luiz is going to have the opportunity to step up here and try and see if he can add a third goal. Douglas Luiz with the big strike. He hits it, and oh my word, he just sends it wide. Nonto turns, finds Jimenez. Jimenez into Buendia. Almost tried the 1-2 that they did last time that was so effective and won us that free kick. But Rangers managed to clear their lines. And now they're going to try and see if they can hit us on the counter-attack. They've been fairly quiet so far in this second half. They're going to try and see if they can at least get some sort of consolation goal, as Campbell now into Lundstrom has the momentum of the attack gone. Davis tries to play it into Lundstrom. The 10 men, the one-man deficit is really hurting the Scottish team here as they desperately try and see if they can get past my rigid defence. But Matty Cash doing a good job of blocking off the run of right. He continues down the left-hand side. Matty Cash tussling in the end. What is going on? And eventually it goes out for an Aston Villa goal kick. Matty Cash with the throw. John McGinn, only 5 minutes remaining on the clock here, and we have surely got to see now if we can utilise this extra man advantage to really put the game to bed. It's Santiago Jimenez who switches it onto his left, and what on earth was the keeper doing? It's a horrendous piece of goalkeeping. It was a wonderful shot from Jimenez, but you've got to admit, on his weaker foot, you would have expected the goalkeeper to make the save from there, as it was quite some distance out, right on the edge of the box. The Aston Villa fans in the corner celebrate. He does in fact put the game to bed. Let's check the replay out. He hit it with his left. And let's have a look. Oh, the goalkeeper should have really done more there. And perhaps he should have at least got a hand to it. But that man won't care. It's his second of the game. It's our third. It's 3-0. Unfortunately enough for Rangers, the referee blows the whistle and puts them out of their misery. A terrible performance from the Scottish Giants, but a fantastic performance from Aston Villa yet again. Full time here, it finishes Rangers 0, Aston Villa 3. Well, I'll tell you what, complaining to the media seems to have done wonders for this man, Santiago Jimenez. A brace for him. Gives him his first 2 goals of the campaign after 6 games. And perhaps this is the leg up and the encouragement he needs to try and put together a decent run of form. And with Buendia constantly trying to tussle for a position on the right hand side of my midfield with the likes of Leon Bailey, Nicolo Zaniolo, and of course the main man Moussa Diaby, a goal on his Champions League debut will do his confidence no good. And again, hopefully he can take that positive momentum and apply it for the rest of the season. But with us not being able to take that positive momentum back into the Premier League, with us succumbing to a late equaliser from Traore for Bournemouth, we are only able to get 1 point at home as we draw 2-2. And then with us being frustratingly knocked out of the round of 16 in the Carabao Cup to West Ham, we just cannot seem to find our feet in English football. It's another opportunity for a trophy lost, and it's another couple of positions that we lose in the Premier League, as we have now dropped down to 9th place, bang in mid-table, just 2 points above Brentford in 10th place. And with Brentford being the very next team in the firing line in the Premier League, I thought it was about time that I took matters into my own hands and tried to rectify this terrible run of form we seem to be having in the Premier League and in English football in general. It's a return to my strongest starting 11, and it's the usual suspects who find themselves back. Martinez starts in goal, Sacha Boey taps over, Torres and Estupinian at the back, Kamara, Vitina and Tielemans in the centre, Zaniolo on the left, Moussa Diaby on the right, and Ollie Watkins up front. Well, we've got to do something to try and arrest this terrible run that we find ourselves in, not just in the Premier League, but in all of English football, in the cup competitions as well. We have to do something, and I'm hoping this will do the trick, and Vitina already looks like he's in the mood, bursts into the box, strikes with his right, big save. The young man really should have done better there, and he got himself in a fabulous position, but just couldn't take advantage. Is that going to be the story of this game? But not for Zaniolo, and not for long, as within the first 5 minutes, the Italian giant gives us a 1-0 lead here at the GTEC Stadium. Well, what a way to answer the critics, and what a way to try and get ourselves back into some positive momentum. A giant leap from Zaniolo, and what a looping header right over the goalkeeper. Brilliant corner, brilliant head, and a brilliant way to give us a 1-0 lead. Tina wins it back well and feeds it into Moussa Diaby. A ball ahead of him was on to Ollie Watkins, but he didn't decide to take it. Instead, just decides to run it all the way over to the left-hand side. Finds a Estupinian, lovely piece of play into Zaniolo. He's going to try and switch it right over the top to the right-hand side. Sacha Boey flings the ball in, looking for the head of Ollie Watkins. Doesn't seem to find him. It's cleared away. Well, it's been an electric start here at the GTEC Stadium. All Aston Villa. We have our heads up, and we are really determined to try and get back into the win column here. Zaniolo tries to play it into Ollie Watkins. Wasn't the right decision. Cleared away yet again. Estupinian with the throw. Finds Yuri Tielemans. The Belgian turns really nicely and plays a nice ball into Kamara. He finds a wonderful pass into Zaniolo. He tries to flick it in. Look at the back post there for Sacha Boey. Not the ball exactly I was looking for. I was looking for Moussa Diaby. And he goes off for a goal kick. Taps over. Goes out to the right-hand side to an unmarked Sacha Boey, who's found a nice little pocket of space, and he feeds in Diaby, who threads a lovely ball through into Ollie Watkins, who strikes! Good save again. Well, we are knocking and knocking and knocking at the door, and surely it's only a matter of time before we knock it down for the second time. It's thrown back in, looking for a carbon copy goal of the first one. It doesn't come off this time, though, but Diaby will try and throw it back into the box this time, looking for the head of Ollie Watkins, I believe, but just couldn't make it. Now it's headed clear out to Tapsoba, who's high, trying to win it back, feeds it into Sacha Boey. He's going to drop it into the box again, looking this time, I believe, for Tielemans. But once again, couldn't find anyone, and once again, Brentford clear their lines. And now they have a wonderful opportunity to try and counter-attack here, but it's blocked off by the Spaniard, Pau Torres. Martin picks it up. Oh, what a challenge here from Vitina. Yuri Tielemans now has it. Can we try and strike a counter-attack of our own? Tielemans now into Ollie Watkins, beautifully taken. The Englishman on the edge of the box strikes. Oh, he sent it wide. Ollie Watkins wins it high and gives it to Zaniolo, just waiting, trying to hold on to the ball, waiting for those Aston Villa runners to fill their boots, as now we play it onto the left-hand side into Estupinian. Lovely done here. Estupinian tries to cut it back. He does for Tielemans. Tielemans takes it on, smashed it against the defender. It's another corner. Here we go then. Diaby going to look for a more fruitful avenue this time, just like he did the first time. This time plays it into Tielemans. It's headed down. Wissa clears it away. Anywhere will do for the Brentford back line. They cannot seem to clear their lines at the moment as the relentless pressure continues. Wave after wave for Aston Villa here, but we have to make sure we make it count. Kamara lines up a shot, smashes it against the defender, and I think that is where we are losing things here. We cannot quite seem to find that deft touch or that final pass to unlock this stubborn Brentford defence. Can we try and do it yet again, though? Here we go with Ollie Watkins. Turns beautifully. Lovely done. Ollie Watkins. Oh, he's put it wide again. Sacha Boey starts us off in the early part of this second half, and we have to remember, for all of our domination in the first, we only take a 1-0 lead into this second half, as Estupinian now cuts it back into the path of Yuri Tielemans. We just took too many touches. Wriggles away, though, from several challenges into Ollie Watkins. Big save. Diaby is on hand to knock in the rebound. And just as I was saying, we only had a 1-0 lead. Diaby has come along, and he has doubled our lead here from close range. Well, I thought the chance was gone after Yuri Tielemans took too many touches, but a beautiful piece of creativity and play. He managed to wriggle away from several challenges, and his shot from Ollie Watkins and a good save from the goalkeeper just laid it on a plate for Moussa Diaby, who found himself in the right place at the right time to knock us on to a 2-0 lead here at the GTEC Stadium. Pau Torres brings this one clear. 2-0 up here. We've got to try and make sure we put this game to bed and we see out what will be a much-needed victory. It's a lovely ball over to Sacha Boey, though. He is surely now going to try and knot it down. He does into Vitina. Lovely touch to get into the box. Cuts it back. Looking for the cutback. Sorry. Couldn't quite make it. It was a good piece of defending in the end from Brentford. Estupinian. Nice pass up the line into Yuri Tielemans, and he's hacked from behind, but eventually Estupinian manages to collect the loose ball, and he drives down the left-hand side. Looks to cut it back into Zaniolo, who's taken down. Was that inside the penalty area? The referee brandishes a yellow card for Matthias Jensen, but let's check out the replay here to see where this challenge came in. I am sure this was inside the penalty area. It was Zaniolo. It's right on the line here. Let's see what happens. There's a substitution, and it is a penalty that Ollie Watkins will step up to take to put the game to bed. Ollie Watkins, and he does put it into the back of the net. The keeper went the right way, but it was a pin-perfect penalty that Ollie Watkins sent into the bottom left-hand corner. It is 3-0 here. McTominay for Brentford. Surely now all it's going to be is a consolation goal here for the London club as they desperately try and see if they can restore some pride back into those fans who have shelled out a lot of money to go and see their team play. But Pau Torres puts an end to that, and now he brings the ball out of defence and he finds a Stupinian. Stupinian tries to bring it infield, finds Yuri Tielemans. Has he got an on-lapping run here? Instead he cuts inside for Zaniolo. He's going to try and look to add a fourth here. Zaniolo to add another one. Good save again from the goalkeeper though. Well, I'm losing count of the amount of corners we've got here, but Moussa Diaby throws it back in. This time looking for the substitute McGinn. It's cleared away by Brentford, and again I'm losing count of the amount of times I've said that. It has been all Aston Villa today, and Buendia now is going to try and put the final stamp in the Brentford coffin. Drives down the left-hand side, whips it in. It falls kindly though to Jacob Ramsey. He nods it back to Alex Moreno, who strikes with his right. Straight at the goalkeeper though. Lewis Potter for Brentford. Just under 10 minutes on the clock here for them to try and see if they can get some form of goal here. As Scott McTominay now brings it out of midfield. He's being chased down though by McGinn, but he doesn't manage to put the challenge in. Pedraza though, good challenge from Moussa Diaby, and that aggression is pretty much been the story of this game today. We've just owned Brentford from start to finish all over the pitch, and they've just not been able to have an answer. McTominay for Brentford, surely trying to find any sort of option ahead of him, but the central defensive midfielder only manages to find Tsimikas. He tries to burst in, blocked from Jacob Ramsey. It's Brentford's first corner of the game, and it's one that it looks like they're just going to try and throw into the box. No short option here today. They do just that. They throw it in, headed away by Jacob Ramsey, only out as far as Jimenez. He heads it down, and the referee blows for full time. Well, it's another played game, and it's another victory here for Aston Villa. We do what we needed to do to arrest this terrible form. That man, Ollie Watkins, got us started with a brilliant goal, and his contribution, along with Moussa Diaby and Zaniolo, gives us a 3-0 win at full time. And with Thomas Frank looking despondent, there can be no better headline that we overcome what was a very lacklustre Brentford side. And I think it highlighted the massive gulf in quality between the two teams, and it has helped us lift ourselves up now to 6th place, just 1 point behind Crystal Palace of all teams, who find themselves in the final Champions League spot. Can we try and see if we can lead a march back up to the top end of the table? If we are going to do that though, we are relying on some better performances from some of our attacking players. It seems like Ollie Watkins is the only man who's been at the races so far for me all season. Tielemans had a pretty decent start, but he sloped off in the last few games, and whilst Zaniolo and Moussa Diaby both did get on the score sheet, only 3 goals apiece from both of those. I definitely need more from my wide players if we want to try and march up the table. However, shifting our focus back to the Champions League, I look at the group stage and it is full of surprises. Bayern Leverkusen find themselves bottom of the table, with Rangers and the German team not even in the top 2, looking likely that they are going to be knocked out of the Champions League at the group stage. And with us managing to secure a thumping 3-1 win against the Scottish Giants, it seems like we have sealed the fate of both ourselves and Rangers, as we surely now will top the Champions League group with 2 games remaining, as we've got a 6-point gap to Club Brugge. But Rangers, with just 1 point to their name, look like they're heading out of Europe's biggest cup competition. And not only have those wins started to lift the morale amongst the entire group, but they've also lifted the morale of Santiago Jimenez, who has come knocking on my door saying that he's much happier now that he's getting regular football, and I am very proud to see that. And the positive momentum continues to reign supreme as goals from Ollie Watkins and Moussa Diaby gives us a 2-1 win against West Ham, and revenge for getting knocked out of the Carabao Cup. And it's another win that lifts us this time up to 5th place now in the table, just 1 point behind Crystal Palace in 4th, and we are edging ever closer to that top spot where Liverpool find themselves being challenged by Manchester City. And with Manchester United struggling though in the Premier League, finding themselves all the way down in 9th place, we head over to Old Trafford for our very next game, and one that we are full of confidence that we can go there and get the 3 points. Only one change to the starting 11 that started and battered Brentford 3-0 in my last played game, and that is Jacob Ramsey finds himself back in the starting 11 ahead of Yuri Tielemans, who drops to the bench. So here we go then, a real opportunity here to put a nail in Manchester United's coffin here. They're reflecting real life, and they are performing poorly in this career mode as well, and we've got to try and see if we can take advantage here at Old Trafford, which is not the fortress it once was, and now we've got a great opportunity to secure a much needed 3 points to try and drive our way back into the Champions League places, as Jacob Ramsey now, in his first start in a while, drives into the box looking for an option. Can he cut it back into the path of Zaniolo? He can, twists away from the defender beautifully, and in the end Onana had to come out. He was inches away there from getting his name back on the score sheet and giving us a 1-0 lead. Christian Eriksen, lovely pass into El Nesri, and now Antony on the right-hand side already. I've got the feeling this is going to be very much an end-to-end game here at Old Trafford. Antony, though, cuts it back. Lovely play into Bruno Fernandes, and of course, who else would it be but Tapsoba to come across. He tries to block off the run from Antony. It finds its way back to Mason Mount. He ends up going back to Antony. They're just trying to see if they can find someone in the box. Eriksen on the outside, though, dribbles away from Pau Torres into Bruno Fernandes, and in the end, we get a deflection, and it falls kindly into the arms of Emi Martinez. Jacob Ramsey, nice short pass into Zaniolo. I'm going to try and look for the overlap of Estupiñán. I do find the overlap of Estupiñán, and look at the space the Ecuadorian has now to run into. Look at him driving into the box. I'm going to try and see if I can hold the ball up to try and find a man in there. I do find Ollie Watkins, who drags it wide. Wan-Bissaka, nice short pass into Christian Eriksen, finds Mason Mount. This is a very attacking lineup and a very attacking midfield from Manchester United. Mason Mount, Bruno Fernandes and Christian Eriksen. Surely now we can try and see if we can find our way through a team that does not have a central defensive midfielder. And look at that, we are doing just that. Moussa Diaby in the box with his right, finds a way past Onana and finds a way to smash a ball into the back of the net with his weaker foot on his right. He drove into the box, acres of space, and again with his right foot, found a lovely strike into the bottom left-hand corner. He just slightly looped it over the arms of Onana, who perhaps could have done better, but I don't care. We lead here at Old Trafford, 1-0. Antony looks to play it down the line into Wan-Bissaka, who finds himself very advanced on the right-hand side. He's going to try and go past Pau Torres, instead finds El Nesri. He tries to go past Estupiñán, doesn't manage to though. Bruno Fernandes will and strike straight at Martinez. It was a good save and hack clear. Well, a brilliant response by Manchester, exactly what their manager would have wanted as they try and see if they can force their way back into this game. Antony with a lovely piece of footwork to get past Estupiñán twice, fires it into the back post, and Rashford is unmarked, and Rashford just lovely little finish to knock it past Martinez to bring Manchester United level here. Where on earth was my defence? Where on earth was Sacha Boey? Nowhere to be seen, and Rashford just ghosted past him. It was an absolutely beautiful cross, unmarked, lovely little touch into the back of the net, and Erik ten Hag celebrates. It's 1-1. Well, just like that, we are opened up, and all of the hard work from going 1-0 up is thrown right in the bin, and then Pau Torres goes and does something stupid and gives the ball away to Rashford, but fortunately enough, he does manage to make amends. But United now are all over us. Mason Mount goes past Tapsoba. Rashford tries to go past Pau Torres. He does come across with a brilliant challenge. Can we try and hit them on the counter-attack here? It's Ollie Watkins. I'm going to try and feed a ball out to Vitina. Vitina has been pretty quiet so far, but he now tries to find himself in the centre. I'm looking for any sort of option. Fires a wicked ball over to Estupiñán. He's got an overlapping run of Jacob Ramsey in the centre. Vitina tries to strike straight against the defender, and now it's cleared away as the referee blows for half-time. Savage to take a free kick here for Manchester United. He goes short for Christian Eriksen. Lovely little 1-2 between him and Bruno Fernandes, and now United are very much in the ascendancy with Mason Mount. Perhaps this is when all of their attacking players in midfield will come to count here, but Pau Torres with a lovely challenge, and he feeds a lovely ball down the line into the path of Zaniolo. Has he got the beating of Wan-Bissaka for pace? He drives down the left-hand side, but he doesn't have too many options. Instead, I'm going to try and cut it back for Ollie Watkins. He takes it on and strikes with his right. Big save. Well, the Englishman can't seem to find the back of the net here today, but can we try and see if we can change that? A lovely ball in, lovely header, big save again. Going to be another corner from Moussa Diaby, this time from the other side. He flings it in, looking this time for the header, Zaniolo, and it deflects off of, I think, one of the defenders, and it goes out for another Aston Villa corner, and this time it will be Jacob Ramsey who'll take. I'm going to try and fire this into the penalty spot. He goes to the near post, and Kamara this time was the man with the head, and in the end his head goes all the way out for a Manchester United goal kick. Antony for Manchester United comes in field, finds Christian Eriksen. He's being hunted down by Ollie Watkins, but does a brilliant job of skipping away from two challenges in my midfield. Rashford, though, goes back to Eriksen. Manchester United passing it around nicely here, but they can't seem to find a way through my defence or my midfield. Bruno Fernandes, nice ball into Mason Mount. El Nesri now has it back to Mount, and now he well has and truly opened up my defence, and it's a brilliant save from Martinez. Antony, though, to take the corner, and he's going to take it short. Both teams are having opportunities here, and I can't call this. I've absolutely no idea which team is going to go on to potentially win this game. Leon Bailey, though, on as a substitute, wins it well, and now feeds it into the part of Moussa Diaby, and if he's going to score, he's going to have to do it alone, but he's got the pace to get away from the defenders and strikes, puts it wide. Just under 20 minutes here for one of these two teams to try and see if they can find a winner. At the moment, it is anyone's guess, because we've both had opportunities, but we both have not been able to take them. Oh my word, I almost caught Martinez out there, and oh my word, again, Manchester United playing with fire at the back, but they've managed to escape, and now it's Christian Eriksen who has it for the Red Devils. Fires a lovely ball out to Rashford on the left-hand side, and he just goes past Sacha Boey like he's not even there, drives into the box, plays a lovely ball into a tree, and he puts it wide. Nice ball into Kamara. Kamara's going to try and go down the right-hand side. Lovely ball into McGinn, but he ends up giving it away to Malacia, and now Manchester United have it, and they can bring it forward here. That is a wonderful defence splitting pass pass into Correa, now into Al-Nesri, he tries to strike, of course, who else? It's Tapsoba in the way, but oh my word, it's Bruno Fernandes off the post, and eventually it's just about cleared away. We got away with one there, but Wan-Bissaka keeps the ball alive for Manchester United. Mason Mount to drive into the box, plays it short for Al-Nesri. What a save from Martinez. Well, my word, we are hanging on by a thread here. United have another corner, they fake the short one, throw it in. It's a big head from Højlund, and it's another big save from that man, Emi Martinez. Here we go then, another short corner. It's Bruno Fernandes into Eriksson. They're going to try and see if they can put one in the box here. Casemiro lines up a power shot, well blocked by Pau Torres, and now Leon Bailey surely can try and stretch his legs. Now he's got the pace to get away from a tired Manchester United defence, and he feeds a ball into the Frenchman Moussa Diaby. Can he try and get into the box here? Diaby on his favourite foot on his left. Hits it straight to Nana. That was the chance to give us the win, and he did not take it, and Nana clears his lines and the referee blows for full time. Well, I cannot believe it, and neither can that man Kamara. We had the chance at the death to win it and to get the 3 points, but we just couldn't take it. The story of the game, we created ample opportunities, but we didn't take them, and in the end, we have to settle at full time for a draw here at Old Trafford as it finishes Manchester United 1, Aston Villa 1. A huge chance at the end for this man Moussa Diaby, and one that you would expect the Lightning Frenchman to take. But his miss means we are unable to take advantage of a Crystal Palace result that seems to have gone our way. We have lifted ourselves up to 4th place, but we are only level on points with the London club as we look to try and see if we can climb our way back up to the top of the table. But that is it for the end of today's episode. But with £81 million still remaining in the transfer budget, and now with less than 1 month away from the start of the January transfer window, we end today's episode with some serious questions as to what we should do and what we should spend that money on. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. But as for today, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again next time.